Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
I'm part of the Kliq, isn't everybody?
Yes! 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 I got an idea, yeah. Beat up John Cena!
Give me a hell yeah!
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Too sweet! This is where the power lies!
I am the man.
Beat me if you can! Come on!
It's showtime, folks!
The following episode is scheduled for one fall, and it is for your listening pleasure. This is In The Kliq.
What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here, and joining me once again is my good brother from the Bullet Cast. It's Philip. How's it going, man?
Introduce me right.
Oh my God. Well, Philip, you have so many different titles now. I can't remember them all.
Do I just? I feel like I'm Paul Heyman taking the mic to introduce Lesnar. That's what I feel like's happening.
But instead, you're introducing yourself.
Okay, so maybe I'm like The Rock. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I am a 25-year-old piece of gold, the Messiah of the microphone, the greatest sports and recreational podcast from the world today. And why am I here? It's simple. I'm here to lead the evolution in the audio revolution. I'm the California Classic. I'm the Valkyrie King of the Great White North. Why? Because I'm Canada's favorite honorary son. Hell, I should be California's favorite son. But no, y'all don't want to claim me like that. It's okay. I'm going to become a big star, and then I won't claim the Bay just like Dwayne. How about that? Come on, man. I'm a future Hall of Famer. What Hall of Fame? I don't know, but I'm going in somewhere.
I was going to say which Hall of Fame.
I'm going in somewhere.
The Bullet Cast Hall of Fame.
Whoa, boy, that's like Vince just putting himself in the WWE Hall of Fame. We can't just be having that.
You think Vince will go in the Hall of Fame one day?
When he's dead, yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean to sound dark like
wow.
that, but like Hunter and Steph, they'll put him in.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, man, Bullet Cast. You know what? It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Let me get a warehouse and we'll have a physical Hall of Fame. You'll come see the old Bullet Cast titles from the first one.
Let's get a storage unit and just have the old titles displayed there.
I know. I'm thinking about it, man. I wouldn't mind doing that. Get some plaques made. Start inducting people. I'm serious, bro. I might do that.
Actually, is there a Bay Area Wrestling Hall of Fame? Remember, wasn't the East Bay
Cauliflower Alley Club, right?
Or East Bay Pro Wrestling? Remember, didn't they have an event there last year? Some big shirt and tie affair or something like that? Yeah, the Cauliflower Alley Club. Is that part of the? Okay, that's a. Well, that's in Vegas, right? Isn't that the one in Vegas? I think they. Oh wait, no. There's a NorCal Wrestling Hall of Fame. Okay, NorCal. That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I might go in there one day. You never know. I know for sure, like, down the line, I'm going in the Global Syndicate Wrestling Hall of Fame, confirmed. Absolutely. I will vote for you if I can. No, but here we are, live to tape, recording a brand new episode of In The Kliq on a Wednesday night, right after tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. A lot of stuff to talk about. And, I felt so bad. Like I said, the previous episode with Philip and I, we missed a week of talking AEW just because it was WrestleMania week. So much going on, so much to talk about with WWE stuff. And then we were playing catch up this past weekend. And now I'm like, all right, you know what? Back to the groove of things. It's post WrestleMania. I think the WrestleMania hangover is gone now. Let's get back into the groove of things. And with that being said, let's, jump on here and record a fresh new episode right after Dynamite airs. I think I'm still on the WrestleMania kick. It's gone this far because of rain delays and whatnot. But I'm still feeling it. I feel like Vince is gonna walk out again and introduce us to night. How many weeks ago was WrestleMania? How many straight nights would that be?
What if WrestleMania was just like a week long? What if we just had like seven shows? Like,
dude, the roster's big enough; they could literally probably do easily a week's worth of shows. I mean, they basically did. If you think about it, with Raw, Hall of Fame, Takeover 1, Takeover 2, then SmackDown, and then WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, Raw after Mania, and then NXT on Tuesday. So literally, it was a week and a half of events.
Honestly, like, if they said WrestleMania is going to be 3 days next year, I wouldn't complain. I'd love everything about it.
Music festivals are 3 days. It's common.
But honestly, I mean, WrestleMania, the mystique is that one night, you know? So
yeah, I hear you.
Vince, if you're listening, I know you are, because you do.
Yeah, he does.
The things I say happen on your show.
But
please,
no,
go back to one night, my guy.
We'll see what happens when they do with Dallas next year, because they just said 2022. They didn't say any dates during the promo with Stone Cold Steve Austin. That
actually, let's sidebar. Like, multiple dates is hard, especially like depending on what kind of capacity crowd they want to have.
Yeah,
and you depend on the diehards to. I mean, it's WrestleMania. People are going to go, but you depend on those people, to go to both nights of the shows, and then so that can be a little tricky. So
yeah, man. No, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next year and just moving forward as things start getting back to normal. But tonight AEW Dynamite did their thing. We'll talk all about that stuff. Of course, remember, if you're listening to us right now, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or on YouTube. I am almost caught up. Literally, I spent like the last 2 days uploading a bunch of files to our YouTube page. And actually, we've been getting a lot of new subscribers. So thank you to everyone who's been subscribing to the YouTube page. I appreciate it. Please.
Yeah, dude. The Bulletcast YouTube channel, like, every day, like, it just keeps climbing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, man. Like, we do this for you. Like, I mean, we do this because we love professional wrestling. We love the art form, the sport. But hey, man, we do it for people, for the people that want to just listen to people's takes about the business, and it's a close knit little family here in the Bay Area. So
absolutely. Well, that's the thing.
Not to cut you off, but for those of you out here like that support us, thank you. We truly do appreciate this.
Absolutely, and that's the thing is I've come to realize I think the popularity with wrestling podcasts in the last couple years it goes back to, I think, what I've said a long time ago, water cooler talk. You know how you'll watch something and the next day you go to work and you talk with your coworkers about, oh my God, you see what happened last night? You do that conversation around, quote, the water cooler in the break room. And that's where that concept came from. Well, now, I think especially during the pandemic, for a lot of people, they're stuck at home and they'll watch stuff on TV, wrestling specifically, and they want someone to talk to, but they can't really. So instead, I think they listen to these podcasts, and it's the closest to hearing someone talk about a show that they watch and hearing someone else's takes. And it's like almost creating a substitute version of water cooler talk. And so we appreciate all the Kliqsters who listen to us. And like I said, our subscriber numbers on YouTube have been going up, and I'm almost caught up completely updating all of our recent episodes up there. So please check it out right now while you can. And of course, inthethe@gmail.com if you want to email us. I want to do another email segment episode in the near future. So start sending those in. I'll start collecting them. And then, follow us on social media as well. Of course, thank you for all the support. But before we get into talking about Dynamite tonight, a couple of clickbait worthy news came out, and I posted this on In The Kliq's Instagram page this morning, literally. I don't know if I should admit this, but I was at my desk, and then I saw the news, the breaking news, and then I went ahead and was posting it while. No, I'm not even coming up with shit, man.
You started to it, now you have to commit.
So I was like,
wing it work.
I had to go to the bathroom, and so while I was, doing my business, I was doing some social media posting there.
I think you've admitted that before.
Okay, all right.
Like when you spam like something, like you're most likely on the toilet. So like you spam like some stuff of mine the other day. I'm like, oh, he must have been taking a poop. Baby Huey must have been having a baby of his own.
My pattern. Well, that's the thing. It's like, because here's the thing I realized sometimes, like, with Instagram's algorithm, like sometimes, my friends, some of their posts, I don't see it, all of them. So if I see something, I'll be like, oh, did I miss something else recently? And then so when I'll go back And I'm saying, I missed this, and this. Let me like all that, show some love. And then my OCD kicks in, and it's like I need to like everything until I'm to the most last like. So anyway, that's how my brain functions. A little insight into my brain.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you know that when baby Huey spam likes your stuff, he's having a baby of his own. But speaking of babies,
yes, nice segue right there.
They call me the Segway King too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please, as I posted in the Kliq's Instagram, some breaking news. But yes, Phil, take it away. What happened?
The baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, is having a baby of her own with her husband, UFC fighter, MMA star Travis Brown. I know they've been trying for quite some time.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why she left the company. And it's been 2 years. That's crazy.
I know. That was, 2 years in New York City. So it was announced. She announced it on her YouTube channel that her and her husband are expecting. And she's actually, I think, said 4 months pregnant. I'm like, wow. Good for her. That's awesome. And yeah, as you said, that's something she was very open about when she left after WrestleMania 2 years ago, that she wanted to start a family. So, no, congrats to them. And obviously, I think the big thing is because there were some rumors that she might be coming back very soon.
Yeah, I think, what was it? Nick Khan said Becky and Ronda will be back later this year. And
Nick Khan's one of the upper...
He's one of the presidents,
executives, for WWE, right?
She's 4 months along, so she could return in December. Let's say, possibly.
Well,
right?
I'm just thinking, because it's the thing is, of course, being a mom, especially this could be her first child. Enjoy the moment, take as much time as you need.
Yeah.
But hypothetically speaking, from a fantasy booking standpoint,
she could come back.
Royal Rumble next year.
I mean, think about it. If we don't get Becky versus Ronda, we'll get their kids.
Well, think about it
down the line.
Oh my God, that's WrestleMania in 20 years, the main event. Book it.
Ooh, boy.
20, 25 years from now.
I know, Becky's
Ronda's daughter or child versus Becky has a daughter, her and Seth. So if Ronda has a daughter, then it could be a women's title match.
Hey, let's do it, man. Their daughter can come out with the attitude of Becky and the drip like Seth. Let's make it happen, baby.
Oh, wow. But that's the thing. So, think about it, because Becky and Seth, they had their child, back in December. So everyone thought, Becky's going to be at the Royal Rumble. No, she wasn't there. Everyone thought she was going to be at WrestleMania. Wasn't there. Raw after Mania. Wasn't there. So I think she's just enjoying her time being a mom. That's the thing. Becky, the kid is still fairly young. You got to be there for her.
She's been gone for almost a year.
Yeah, Money in the Bank was May, and she gave it to Asuka.
It's next month. Wow,
yeah.
crazy.
Well, then also, here's the thing. To be honest, I think they're saving Becky to come back in front of an audience. Let's be real. They want that pop, so they're going to wait to an audience. So I'm sure Becky's like, you know what? I'll take advantage of this time away or this extra time because there's no audience there. I'll just use it to my advantage to be home with her child. But yeah, so with Ronda Rousey, though, it makes you wonder, okay, so if she's 4 months pregnant, let's say 5 months later from now, to be a full 9 months. So what's 5 months will be September, right? Didn't they say September? Or was it October?
Let's see. It's April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, September.
And then, be there for a few months with the kid. And Royal Rumble could be a possibility if Ronda does come back.
What if they just did Becky versus Rousey at Survivor Series for the hell of it? It was supposed to happen.
Oh, yeah, in L.A. a couple years ago.
Because I think
Charlotte came in.
Yeah, I think they're going to do fans for the Big Four. Just, why not? Who cares? We don't need a reason. Let's just do it.
Well, I'm just thinking, okay, wait, now I'm all thinking of these different scenarios. It's these are all, they should worry about being moms, but then we're all thinking that they got to come back to the ring as fast as they can. It's it's all for the fun of fantasy booking here. But no, I was going to say with Ronda, I'm curious, because remember when she signed her contract, I think was it a 2-year or 3-year deal? Do you remember off the top of your head? And so...
it was a 3-year.
So technically, because it came up, it would have ended this year. That's right. So hypothetically, she only wrestled 1 full year of that contract. So I don't know if it expired or whenever she comes back, it picks up where it left off. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she's still in the contract with WWE, or if it's just an open door to come back whenever she wants, and they'll just start a new deal, create a new deal. I don't know. So
I think her deal expired yesterday.
Okay. So anyway, no, just big props and kudos to Ronda Rousey and her husband. I know, like you said, that's something they've been trying to have for the longest time, a baby, and she's pregnant. So we wish them all the best and enjoy their time when the child's born. And, hopefully one day she does come back to WWE, because I think her star power and her crossover appeal with audience, I think really did a lot for WWE, and specifically for the women's division and the competition level. I really would love to see her come back and put on some more banger matches. Maybe have a rematch with Becky, one-on-one, like a one-on-one match with Becky Lynch. That's what we all want. No Charlotte Flair involvement. Maybe some other stuff. Asuka, hell, Rhea Ripley. I mean, there's a lot of fresh new talent in the women's division. NXT. Hopefully, maybe if Ronda comes back, maybe some of the people in NXT who are doing good right now will be up on Raw or SmackDown by that point. So, I don't know. It's all fun fantasy booking in the meantime. So, also some bit of clickbait news. So, Philip, I saw something you post on the Bullet Cast Instagram page, and it was something really cool involving Triple H that I really want to discuss. And so, yeah, please take it away on that one.
Oh, yes, thank you. So it aired Tuesday on ESPN's Cheap Heat podcast with my boy Peter Rosenberg, the greatest 24/7 champion of all time, and his co-host Stat Guy Greg. They got to talk to Papa Trips Triple H about NXT, and man. So this quote right here, I'm gonna read this. This is what Hunter had to say, or one of the many things he had to say.
Yeah.
The promotional opportunity for us is much better on a Tuesday, and also than not having to do do with the narrative where it's just constantly about an imaginary war or this imaginary battle. People can say what they want, but the truth of the matter is you compete against everything. If you are creating a television product or content that is in the world we live in, content, not television, not internet. It's everything. We're constantly competing for eyeballs and time against everything under the sun, including sleep and time to do other things and video games and TikTok and everything else that's out there. So, I mean, and he also goes into, creating your own space. But look, man, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the imaginary war line.
Yeah, did you say that part already?
Yeah.
Imaginary war about. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I hit that part because, I mean, John LaRocca, when we did that show with him a couple weeks ago, he said, it's an imaginary war that nobody cracked a mill at. That's one of my favorite lines. But yeah, man, like the fans made it a war, because like you hear people like Britt Baker and Adam Cole be like, everybody's cool, man. Like you see Adam Cole popping up at AEW behind the scenes events, and Britt, showing up to watch her baby do what he does. So like
take over, yeah.
Yeah, and plus, Vince just let Jericho on the network and Peacock. You know what I mean?
But you hear that Vince apparently has regrets now letting that happen because he did the show and then, AEW had over 1 million viewers that same week.
Well, that's because,
it was unopposed.
They were unopposed. I mean, I feel like that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Like, man, WWE is such a conglomerate. Like, that one appearance isn't going to hurt them.
Yeah. So here's my thing. So I read this quote, and like I said, please check out @TheBulletCast on Instagram to see the quotes that Philip posted there. Couple things. Listen, I love Triple H from his time wrestling to what he does as an executive, what he's done with NXT. He has done so much for the business and given back so much to the business and given us so many great years of entertainment. Like I said, I respect the guy, but this quote or these answers he was giving, I think it's a very long-winded, it's a very politically, I'm trying to think of the right word.
Politically correct?
Not politically correct. I mean, it's, I'll just say this. I think it's a way of beating around the bush saying that, they lost and they had to move to Tuesday nights. It's like, okay, because this is what I'm getting at is, okay, we listen. how many weeks they went up against AEW? What, 78 weeks total, roughly?
79. Yeah, 79.
So out of all those weeks, I think they
won 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think 3 times total, and one of them was the takeover a couple weeks ago, and then 2 other times. The
Great American Bash, right? Yeah,
I think, and then maybe one other one, and then keep in mind there was
early on in the war they won,
and there was 2 other times they went unopposed, because remember they had like the Super Tuesday episodes for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, listen, the fact that I feel like he's kind of backpedaling and trying to downplay this and say, oh, this is just an imaginary war that the fans created. And it's like, listen, you know damn well if it was the other way around that NXT dominated the majority of those weeks and AEW hypothetically moved to a different night, you don't think NXT or WWE would be celebrating that? Look what they did with the Monday Night War. They won the Monday Night War, and for the last 20 years, we have seen so many documentaries, footage, highlights, them constantly reminding us, the fans, that they won that war and WCW went away. They bought WCW. Don't you think it was the other way around? If AEW was the one to move nights and NXT stayed on Wednesday, Triple H would not be saying, yeah, we won the Wednesday Night War. So I feel like this is his way of downplaying the fact that, yeah, we're waving the white flag, admitting defeat. But instead of saying, they're trying to say it was a good business move on their part. A promotional move.
I mean, well, it would have been a really good promotional move if once SmackDown moved back to Fridays, you put NXT on Tuesdays, because we were so used to watching wrestling Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. That's where you should have done that. I look at it as this, man. Look, WWE, they're bragging about the Monday Night Wars because, they almost legit went out of business and they bought out their competition. AEW's not going to put WWE out of business.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be right. This is Triple H very kind of nonchalantly being like, look, it was a better business decision for us, and without trying to admit like defeat in this imaginary war. But I don't know, man. I mean, you want me to read the other part of it, or
yeah, go ahead, because there's a good point about the Monday night stuff and the connection there with the promotional tie-in.
So the second part of the quote is, so having your own space where you don't have to then have an added imaginary battle stacked up against it, it's kind of nice. The bigger fact is having a lead-in from a Tuesday into a Wednesday. When we first started, NXT was on Wednesdays for viewers of the network, RIP to the network. The transition to USA and wanting to keep the consistency for those that were watching on the network so they would know where to find it and not have confusion of SmackDown leaving Tuesdays and people joining in and finding something else. Time has gone by now, and this is a great opportunity for us to have that lead in for Monday Night Raw, to get that promotional window for Monday Night Raw, to get Tuesdays and continue to deliver the product.
So my thing is, okay, he said originally they didn't go to Tuesdays because everyone's so used to SmackDown and they didn't want to confuse people. Come on. If you would have moved NXT to Tuesday right away when SmackDown moved to Fridays, all you have to do is just let it run on a Tuesday, let NXT run on Tuesday, and just run some promos and say, hey, I know you're used to seeing SmackDown right now, but we moved to Friday nights, but please stick around and watch more great wrestling of NXT. That's all you have to do is run basic promos back in where that happened.
Here's a great point, man. When WWE ECW died, NXT replaced it on that day. Why? Because people were used to watching wrestling on that day. We could have done the same. We could have done the same thing.
So Triple H's, we don't want to confuse people who are already watching SmackDown on Tuesdays. Well, yeah, it's just wrestling. I think most people are smart enough, like, oh, this is not SmackDown, but it's still WWE. What is this? Oh, this is NXT. And then when people are watching, just run promos. Say, hey, if you're tuning in thinking you're going to see SmackDown, well, hey, listen, it moved to Fridays, but yeah, stick here. It's NXT. This is our third brand. And stick around for more great wrestling. That's all you got to do. So this kind of quote's a little bogus to me. But the other thing, too, is I will admit, from a promotion standpoint, yes, it's great. Monday Night Raw, I think now needs to play up more promos and video packages promoting what's going to happen the next night on NXT. I felt like they should have been doing that already for the last year and a half when NXT was on Wednesdays. I think Raw should have done more promos. Say, hey, tune in this Wednesday, see what happens on NXT. They ran like 1 or 2, if I remember correctly. But now I really think they need to play it up more and be like, hey, tune in tomorrow night to NXT. Especially they're all on the same brand, the USA Network. You got to work together. And it makes me kind of wonder, no major call-ups have happened yet from NXT to Raw or SmackDown. So I wonder if some of the bigger names are going to stay put on NXT to really just solidify that as a third brand and make it bigger and not just a place where they just constantly take talent away to fill up Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen because, Tommaso Ciampa has been like, I don't want to go anywhere else. This is where I want to be. And, I mean, if guys are going to just stay there, they got to keep it fresh.
Yeah,
that's why the Walter getting involved makes things interesting and stuff like that. And more, hell, get what was it, Kaylee Ray, the NXT Women's Champion? Let her pop up on Tuesday nights. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Ilya Dragunov, let him pop up. Rampage.
Oh, the NXT UK roster. Yeah.
I would love to see Rampage mix it up with. I don't know, Tommaso Ciampa,
Karrion Kross,
Karrion Kross, Adam Cole, Finn Balor.
Dude, but by the way, so it's the fact that AEW got over 1 million people watching last week. I wonder how fast are they going to move like NXT UK to Wednesdays just to kind of counter program that a little bit, even though NXT UK is available on Peacock only. Like, I wonder if WWE sees that and they're like, okay, we made the move Tuesday for NXT. What else can we put on Wednesdays to somewhat counter AEW? So
205 Live.
205 Live, NXT UK. Or
main event.
But wasn't that, I remember we talked like NXT Evolve was supposed to be a thing. I don't know, they haven't officially announced that yet, but that was going to be like another developmental type show that was in the works. So
let's put NXT India on Wednesday nights.
But I'm just saying, I would not be surprised in the near future they're going to announce some sort of major WWE programming on Peacock that's going to be on Wednesdays as some form of attempt to undercut AEW right now. So, but anyway,
look, man. But we'll see. Like, we'll see what AEW does. Like, we'll see because Alvarez usually posts them like the day after, right? Like the viewership. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Like next week, if they're if this week they're not at a mill and next week they're not at a mill, then everybody can calm down.
Yeah. I mean, no, NXT, the ratings came out today and they were over 800,000 and they're up from even last week. So, NXT is doing good. And I enjoyed this week's episode as well of NXT. So, like I said, for me, these quotes from Triple H, one, I do believe, there is a lot of, attention, competition, just from so many different sources for people's eyeballs. I do believe that as far as, people consume content in so many different forms now, from your computer, your TV, your phone, iPads, all that stuff. So streaming services, so let alone being on a TV show, you're not only competing with other channels and what's on at the same time, but you're competing with other content on other platforms. So I do understand Triple H's point of view there. I believe that, hence, like, for example, like TikTok. But nonetheless, I think what he's saying here, it's a subtle way of him saying they're waving the white flag, they lost, and we had to move. It's a better move for us. And plus, and let's be real, we know, like, the USA Network, like, aren't they going to have hockey on Wednesday nights on USA Network? And so instead of getting preempted, it's better for NXT to move to Tuesday anyway. So anyway, I think this is just a very political answer from Triple H to kind of downplay the fact that, they lost on a regular basis and they had to move to Tuesday night.
Hey, Tuesday might be the better spot for them. I'm looking at it. In 1 week, their views have gone up 36,000.
Yeah. Well, the thing too,
841 this week, 805 last week.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too also is and like I said, I think it's a little hypocritical because you think about it also with Triple H. How many times over the years Triple H has been kind of like the face of WWE and that they beat WCW? Hell, he beat Sting at WrestleMania 6 years ago because they tried to turn that match. It's a callback to WWE versus WCW. So, like I said, for the last 20 years, WWE has been controlling their narrative and constantly reminding us that they won the Monday Night Wars, they beat WCW, that even though WCW was winning at first, they came back and win. At the end of the day, bottom out. And then, Triple H put the nail in the coffin by beating Sting at WrestleMania. So, like I said, in this situation, the fact that Triple H now is kind of downplaying it, it's just an imaginary war. Well, no, come on, dude. You know damn well if this was the other way around, if NXT dominated for all these years or the last year and a half, 79 weeks, whatever it was, and AEW moved nights, you don't think they would have a documentary in the works right now called The Wednesday Night Wars, now NXT defeat AEW? You know that's what happened. I know damn sure, because like I said, WWE, anytime they get a quote victory in their books, in the wrestling industry, they'll make a documentary, they'll play it up and tell everyone, yeah, look at us, we won again, another victory for us. That's what I assume would happen. So anyway, like I said, it's a very political answer he's giving to downplay all this. So anyway, get off my soapbox now. You get me wild up on a Wednesday night, Philip. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. A lot of stuff to break down, and we're not going to go over every single segment and backstage promo and interview, all that stuff. We're going to focus on the key highlights here. But Philip, let's start with just your overall thoughts, takeaways from this episode.
Disappointed.
Okay, yeah. How so?
People got to be booked better. Finishes have to be better. I'm tired of the run-ins. Like we get it. The chaos. Anything can happen. I understand.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was not completely blown away from this show for multiple reasons. We'll get into that. This show for me, it may be because listen, I had a long day at work and just I'm a little tired, irritable. But there was just things in this episode that popped up that it's starting to become like the norm out of an AEW Dynamite show. Like if you made a checklist of things to expect, like a drinking game, this show had all those features that we can talk about that we're so used to seeing every week on AEW Dynamite. It's starting to become just of a joke of like how much we're seeing the same things over and over.
Bro, look. If we were to play a drinking game about the things you can guess is going to happen on AEW, I'd be liquored up in the first hour.
Oh, that's true. I'm telling you, man.
I would be liquored up.
And listen, you and I are going to critique a lot of this stuff right now. And, keep in mind, gotta give this disclaimer. We're saying this because we come at this as fans. We want to see a show like AEW develop or put out the best product out there, but there's little things that they're doing that's starting to get a little frustrating to me, and becoming predictable or it's just like I'm not feeling that, and it's kind of ridiculous. So
yeah, man, and I know I come off and people think I'm the WWE shill and all that other stuff. Hey, look, if I was a true WWE shill, I wouldn't spend my time talking about AEW.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let that be known right now.
So let's go ahead and jump.
All the products.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So one of my first takeaways was, once again, it was not a good night for Team Taz. I'm sorry to say that. Team Taz is starting to really become the joke of AEW as far as factions. We talk about how many factions there are in AEW. Team Taz is becoming just the jobbers of this company.
Yeah, give me the proverbial hot tag. There we go. Tagged in. Listen, look. Taz is in a very bad position. He'll be on commentary, and he's trying to defend his guys, but they lose. You talk about the credibility of a Ricky Starks, a former NWA TV champion. The guy, he's smooth in the ring. He's suave. He's cocky. He's brash. He's arrogant. I like that guy. That guy can be something. He can be the next big thing, sure, but he keeps losing. Will Hobbs, my guy. East Palo Alto, from East Palo Alto, Oakland's most violent, my dude. Hey, I did like how his finisher's name is Town Business. I did pop for that. I'm not gonna lie. Look,
he looked good tonight. I like his new ring gear too.
Yeah, he looked good.
Looks great,
but he lost.
Yes.
Now look, I've defended Christian hard when he signed with the company. Because when a new guy comes in, they want them to build up wins and whatnot. Christian could have won this match, and Hobbs still could have looked dominant. Now, I'm not gonna. I did kind of like the finish of Hobbs taking his time, and the veteran catches him with the move and beats him or whatever. And I mean, people were like, "Man, Christian got beat up this whole match in one." Dude, Cena, that was the majority of his career. He got his ass kicked the whole match, and he came out and won. So
we said this the other day. Darby Allin, the formula of Darby Allin's matches in AEW, he gets beat up 85% of the time, and then pulls off a victory at the end.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say this was a decisive win. It was clean, and it was clean as a whistle. You know what I'm saying? But what we could have done, like, let me just throw out some scenarios.
Okay.
So we could have done Will Hobbs gets pinned, but his foot was actually put his foot under the bottom rope. They don't do that enough. They don't, where you can still like fight like, hey, his foot was under the rope. The ref was blind. You know, we could have done that, or we could have done a disqualification finish to where Will's just beating him down so bad that he loses and he doesn't even care. You know, we could have done certain things like that. Hell, we could have done a count out. I would have been fine with that.
That's a great point.
Not to cut you off, let's go back to Ricky Starks. He could have beat Hangman tonight. People would have been shocked. You want that. You want people to be talking in a good way. I mean, all like, what do they say? Like all criticism is good or whatever.
Oh, there's no such thing as I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, all publicity is good publicity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if Ricky Starks would have beat Hangman, no, who would have been really tripping off of that?
Well, that's the thing. It's a couple things here. So, yeah, not one, but two matches tonight feature Team Taz. And so, yeah, the opening match had Hangman taking on Ricky Starks. The big thing, keep in mind, Hangman is the number one overall ranked contender for a world championship match at some point. He's the number one ranked person in AEW right now. He's undefeated. So, I get why they're trying to protect him. Let's be real. At the end of the day, we predicted this for months. We think Hangman's going to be the one to dethrone Kenny Omega at some point. But I think they're going to save that, obviously, when crowds return, because they want that to make a big moment, a huge pop. They don't want another major title change to happen in front of no fans. So they want to save that. So this is something we talked about in the previous episode, is I think they're going to have to ice Hangman Page for a little bit. They just got to keep him busy or keep him stay active. But obviously, he's not going to get a title shot anytime soon until it's confirmed fans can come back. So maybe at best end of summer. But even then, it's like, okay, if you're going to keep him protected but not sniff the title scene anytime soon, you're just going to have to just throw him random matches to, quote, stay on TV and just keep ranking up those wins. I just worry fans are going to get burned out. Be like, okay, he's winning all these matches, but he's never going to when's he going to get that title shot? So it's like when fans come back, then you got to start revving that up and giving him that opportunity for a title.
Speaking of that, Nyla Rose, like, I swear to God, like 5 weeks ago, she was the number one contender and never got the match.
Yeah.
What happened?
There's a lot of like story holes, plot holes. It looks like they're stop and go on certain people on the roster.
It's so simple. You have a ranking system. If the top contender loses, the second contender moves to the top slot. The third moves to the second, and the fourth moves to the third. It's not hard. Like, I don't understand.
I actually do appreciate Britt Baker did that tonight. She did acknowledge that part.
Bro, put the effing title on her now.
Yeah.
Now.
So real quick, I'm just gonna say for Hangman, I feel like, okay, his opportunity for the title is not going to happen until when fans come back. We don't know when that is. It's going to be probably months. So I feel bad. Like, they're just going to he's just going to be, what's the word? Trying to keep his head afloat.
He's going to be stagnant, man. That's what's going to happen.
He's going to be stagnant. He's just going to have random matches just to keep him on TV. But obviously you don't want him to lose any of these matches because you want to keep his undefeated streak going. So he's just going to be like I said, collecting a bunch of wins. But then I think there's going to become a point where people are like, well, when did he finally get the title shot? Well, we're trying to hold off until there's a crowd return. So like it's just, he's just swimming in circles at that point. So I just wonder, how long can you keep him just busy, just having random matches before you got to pull the trigger and give him that title shot? But then when you do give him that title shot, are you going to have enough time to do a proper build to get there? Like, I get being patient, but at the same time, you got to strike the iron when it's hot.
Double or Nothing is the last day in May. So what are we doing for that? I mean, like, that's like, it sounds like a long time away, but that's creeping up, man.
Yeah.
So you look, honestly, I don't think he doesn't need that title until All Out. You need to pull the trigger at Double or Nothing, Fight for the Fallen, or Fyter Fest. One of those 3 shows, you pull that trigger, we get a new AEW champion.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Well, I was going to say.
I'm sorry, but if you wait till August, you're going to be the people are going to be like, it's kind of like when Kenny won the IWGP title. Okay, he won it. Should have been sooner.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one thing I'm worried when Hangman does win the title, people are going to be like, yeah, it should have been a long time ago. It's like almost like, remember Braun Strowman when he finally won? It was like a little too late. Should have happened like 2 years earlier.
It's a whole other topic.
I know. But anyway, so Hangman here, I thought it was a pretty good match with Ricky Starks. Ricky had his ankle injured, but there was one point where he was injured, like selling the ankle injury, and then he did a power bomb on Hangman. I'm like, well, wait, your ankle's injured. How are you able to lift him up with putting all that weight on your ankle?
It's all the strength in the arms, baby.
So Hangman, eventually got the win with
that new submission. He turned into the captain's hook, which was Brian Kendrick's move, that bulldog that we see Mox use, and then he grabbed the ankle. I'm like, oh, I like that,
and snapped on that ankle. That was good.
I like when guys have different moves they can win with.
So what was funny though is, after the match, Taz is talking to Hangman and says, "Watch your back," and then Hook comes from behind Taz's son and takes out Hangman's leg. But I was just laughing how bad Hook was like trying to stomp Hangman. It wasn't believable. He wasn't he was barely touching him. He wasn't laying into him. It's like, come on, Hook. Like, are you still in wrestling school? Don't they tell you how to do a proper stomp on someone?
I don't think you get that far. No, it depends on how long he's been training, man. Look. The kid's green. We know.
Yeah. So, but also for Team Taz, going back to Christian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs, like I said, another great match. Christian Cage was so good in the ring, very crisp, delivering all his moves. Even that frog splash was great. Like I said, Will Hobbs just looked great. I love his new gear. He just looks like a monster in there. He took Christian Cage, put him his face against the barricade, the gates right there. That was a cool look right there. He was like just beating the crap out of him. But Christian eventually, being the veteran, defeated Will Hobbs, picked up the victory, which, I get it. Okay, the veteran, defeated the more younger guy, but I just, like you said, Team Taz with 2 losses on the night. And then Ricky Starks came out to check on Will Hobbs, and then he stared down Christian Cage. So is Starks and Christian Cage can have a program with each other?
Hey, give them enough time. I'm not mad at that.
Well, and that one, Starks needs to win that one. He needs to win that match.
Look, speaking of Team Taz, Page is wrestling Cage next week.
Yeah.
Hangman Page is wrestling Brian Cage.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And he's the FTW. Look, dude, first, we need
get rid of that title. Yeah, get rid of that title.
I got a more important one right here. You feel me?
Yeah.
Look, man. Brian Cage, he desperately needs to win that. Absolutely.
Well, but here's the thing. I know he's not going to win because Hangman's not going to lose any matches anytime soon. He's the number 1 ranked guy. They got to keep him booked strong, like we just talked about. So I hate to say it, Team Taz is going to get another loss next week.
Bro, they need to win. This is.
I know. I'm with you. They need to get some wins to become a believable faction.
Hey, what if Taz had a match and won? And what if he was like, how come my old ass can do what all you guys can?
Exactly. I mean, think about it. They got their ass kicked from Darby Allin and Sting for months.
Bro, you got your asses kicked by a skinny dude with a skateboard and an old man with a bat. Come on, bro.
I know.
Really? Are you serious?
Come on, Team Taz. We like you. We're big fans of everyone in that group.
Like when Taz locked in that choke on Cody, I thought we were going to be seeing something special.
I know. So
come on, brother.
We'll see how it goes next week for Brian Cage.
Where the hell was Cody at anyway?
He hasn't been there for a minute.
He needs to feel important again. I miss Cody.
I know, me too.
I miss my friend.
Exactly, our bud, our boy. Another segment, a couple segments I want to just compare real quick. So we know Blood and Guts is coming May 5th. And did you notice, I think it was Shivani said it's going to be a 1-match event? So I don't know what that means. I got to look into that more. I don't know if
is that one match going to last the whole
for 2
show?
hours? I don't know. Like, I saw some people tweeting about it too. So, hopefully we get some more clarification, or maybe there's going to be some other matches. But I mean, could a steel cage match like that last for 2 hours? So,
yeah, actually, you know what? It can. There was oh god, I think it was.
Taking time, letting everyone come in and in segments, and so
this happened on the Indies though. But it was Pat Buck. He said he was in a 15-man blindfolded cage match that lasted 3 hours.
We'll check that out. No, but so the Pinnacle and Inner Circle both had segments tonight just promoting Blood and Guts. The Pinnacle segment was first, and it was a sit-down interview with Jim Ross, a pre-tape thing. I really enjoyed this. MJF did his thing. He delivered an amazing promo calling out Chris Jericho and said, listen, you had a great promo a couple weeks ago, but listen, I'm still young. I'm better than you. You know it, and I'm coming for your spot on this roster because we're the Pinnacle. We're the top of this company. But you know who really blew me away was Wardlow. I really like his promo. His delivery was great. It was confident. It was very compelling, and I really like Wardlow. I want to see more Wardlow talking to microphone. If he could talk like that, that was great. It was cool. MJF got a new scarf now, a silk version of the scarf he wears. What'd you think of that whole promo segment with the Pinnacle with Jim Ross?
I liked it. MJF cuts a nice promo. Wardlow, he can speak, and speak. Oh god, he can speak, and I like that. I really do. And I'm telling you, man, go watch the dude's indie stuff. He's crazy. He can work.
And then later on, we saw Tony Schiavone in the ring. He did an interview with the Inner Circle in person. This was cool as well, as far as, Jericho. This is the Inner Circle being baby faces now. So I'm still getting used to seeing Chris Jericho as a baby face. It's been a minute. It's been a few years since he's been a baby face. So, and then for a lot of these guys, I just laugh. Was it Hager, had the straws, was throwing at the camera and be like, we're going to kick the Pinnacle's ass so bad they're going to have to eat their meat through a straw. That was pretty goofy. Santana and Ortiz were saying, the Pinnacle always come in afterwards to jump in. It's like a bitch move on their part. But Chris Jericho made a joke, just dumping MJF's face in the toilet with poo and stuff, wiped his ass with the scarf. So, I thought it was a very fun, promo here, just hyping up more Blood and Guts. And then Jericho said next week they're going to have a face off with a parlay. Is that what they called it? Inner Circle versus Pinnacle parlay or something like that? A meeting next week. I think that's what they're calling it. Let's see. Do they have the official name for it? Philip, do you happen to know what that was? Is that what they called it?
Yeah, he called it a parlay.
Parlay.
Which
okay.
I have no idea what that means.
I guess it's a face off or something like that. So, and then, next up, we also saw another segment with the Elite, Kenny Omega, along with Don Callis, the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers. What's again? Michael Nakasawa. How do you pronounce his name again?
Michael Nakasawa.
So they're on the trailer. So the Elite have their own private trailer now. Actually, I want to know what's better, having a private trailer like that or having a private room like the Inner Circle.
I think the tour bus.
The
tour bus is the move.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking. Because they can probably leave when they want. So, I don't know about you, man. Pardon me, I'm kind of just checked out with anything the Elite do now on TV right now. I'm just not fully invested in it. And we didn't really get into it too much last week, but I'm still just kind of walk me through this if you can. So the Young Bucks turn on Jon Moxley, they super kick him, and they, rejoin Kenny Omega, and they said they did it because they're friends. Friendship is, stronger than anything else. And now they're all talking like bad guys. But what kind of frustrated me was, we watched that match a couple weeks ago. Moxley and Young Bucks teamed up against Omega and the Good Brothers. They have this match between each other. So the Young Bucks were beating up on Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers in that match. And then by the end of it, they hugged it out. So, from a story point or a storytelling point, it doesn't make sense. You're in a match with someone, and then 10 minutes later, you guys are hugging it in the ring like that. You guys hate each other, and then 10 minutes later, you hugged each other.
I don't think they hated each other. They just went out there and were doing their job. I think that's what that was. I
feel like this whole Elite stuff and the Good Brothers, it's becoming very convoluted. I'm kind of losing track of their whole motivation of working together. I guess
they're
originally.
Friends.
See, originally I thought it was going to be like an Impact Wrestling invasion. It's not. All it is, it's just the Good Brothers are just working 2 promotions and just helping out Kenny Omega and Don Callis. And Kenny Omega is supposedly going to be this belt collector. And then the Young Bucks are just lining with their friend again. So it's a 5-man group. I guess that's it. I mean, maybe it's that simple. I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm not really feeling this segment. And the thing is, it's like they're still battling with Jon Moxley. Like, dude, Kenny Omega beat Moxley twice already. Why does he need to keep fighting him? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're kind of dragging out this rivalry between the two. Like, are you still compelled by Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley going at it still?
Yeah, I don't understand why they're going to keep harboring on it. I mean, look, Kenny, he stole it. Sure, they had the death match with the interesting finish. Look, man, it's time to move on. It really is.
Yeah. The other thing, too, was interesting was I did enjoy Moxley and Eddie Kingston in the truck, and they drove into the trailer and smashed it, and they jumped out, they had the pipe, and they were smashing the window. And then Moxley, did you notice the little detail? Moxley told Kingston, hey, man, or Kingston's like, where are the shoes at? Where are the shoes? Talking about the Jordans that the Young Bucks wore last week. I thought that was kind of cool. Eddie Kingston, he's more focused looking for those Jordans. I thought that was kind of funny because what you said, they're like, what, $6,000?
$11,000.
11. Oh my God. Then Moxley's like, come on, man, don't worry about the shoes. The other thing too that's kind of frustrating is you and I, we know this because we cover all the wrestling news and stuff. But if you're just an average AEW fan, you would have no idea that Kenny Omega has a title match this Sunday with Impact Wrestling at the Rebellion pay-per-view. For weeks, they have not been advertising this at all. They finally ran one little quick video package promoting Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann this Sunday at Impact Wrestling's Rebellion pay-per-view. And then Don Callis made a quick reference as well that he's going to go after that. Kenny Omega is going to become the new Impact World Champion. So I guess they're finally starting to go back into the whole belt collector gimmick. But I don't know. What about you? Aren't you a little frustrated that I feel like Impact Wrestling is getting kind of a raw deal between this partnership? Like, I feel like Dynamite doesn't promote enough of Impact Wrestling. I think it's kind of one-sided.
Yeah, if I were them, I would have been like, hey, guys, like, what are we doing? You need to promote us more. Let our stars appear on your show and all that other stuff.
I was just disappointed. I thought Rich Swann was going to make an appearance tonight and just at least call out Kenny Omega and be like, hey, I'll see you this Sunday at the pay-per-view. So anyway, I'm a little bummed with that. A couple more things real quick before we wrap it up. So tonight was an AEW Women's World Championship match. Shida taking on Tay Conti. Shida got the win here, but dude, I think this is Tay Conti's best match so far in AEW. I love the leg kicks that she was doing, those strikes throughout the match. It just really shows her, jiu-jitsu skills. And I really enjoy Tay Conti's mat game as well in this match. She really, was stretching Shida a lot in this match. How about you? What'd you think of this match?
I really liked it, man. If Tay Conti would have won, I would have been fine with it, dude.
Yeah?
I thought that would have been cool. And there's just like we know the story of the unbeatable champion losing and it being important. Think about, Britt Baker, like she's a heel, like she's an ass. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Think about that. Tay Conti wins this huge moment, defeats the unbeatable champion, and then like book it like for in a couple weeks, Britt Baker.
Yeah,
beats her, ends this little fairy tale run for her.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Shida was okay. Like Shida was good. There was a couple good spots in there. I felt like Shida sometimes. I feel like she's going in slow motion sometimes. So, I don't know what she needs to do to kind of like have a little more burst of like explosion in the ring. Also with Tay Conti though, and I give her credit. Like, let me ask you this, Philip. Like, Tay Conti has really improved in recent months. She's getting more and more attention just from a lot of people I've seen on Twitter reacting to her, how well she's doing. Do you think that's because she came up through WWE? Like, she spent so much time at the Performance Center and was in NXT. Do you think like WWE really helped give her a good foundation to work with? And that's why she's been able to apply it here in AEW and has been able to stand out compared to the rest of the women's roster?
You forget she was in WWE,
right? Yeah,
yeah, man.
But she said some good training.
Yeah, see, that's the benefit of a performance center.
Yep.
Like, you take the factory, or whatever is going on. Like, hey, man, you need something like that. You desperately need something like that.
Yeah. So it's Tay Conti looked great here. She was getting frustrated with all the kickouts from Shida, but she still looked very strong. I'm very happy for Tay Conti. I think, she's opened up a lot of people's eyes, and I wouldn't be surprised if she is a champion at some point down the road. I think what they're doing is they're saving for Shida and Britt Baker at Double or Nothing. That's my guess, because, so after Shida won, Britt Baker comes out and she points to the jumbo screen and she has the power rankings. And I think she was, because last week she said, I'm number 3. Since this person lost, I move up to number 2. Now Tay Conti lost. She's like, now I move up to number 1. So she's been following her competition, other members of the top 5 ranking. As soon as they lose, she wants to remind everyone, all right, they lost. Back of the line, I move on up now. So I like that little detail that Britt Baker's doing. She's like, as far as a heel goes, she's like, look, it's my time now for a title opportunity. Like, I'm collecting wins. My people ahead of me are losing, so they fall back down. So I like that story beat.
Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody actually using the ranking system data and stats
exactly.
to advance a storyline. Who would have thought it?
So my guess is I wonder if they'll save Shida, like I said, and Britt Baker for Double or Nothing. So maybe they got a month now, so they can use the next month to build up to that. I think that's what's going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if Britt Baker wins at Double or Nothing. Early prediction right there. You heard it here first. So, last but not least, let's just talk about this main event here. TNT Championship match. Darby Allin with Sting out there taking on Jungle Boy, who also had Luchasaurus with him. It was the battle of the underdogs. Let's be real. Both these guys are known for being the underdogs in their time in AEW, taking a beating, but then pulling off big victories in the end. How'd you think this main event played out here?
Well, first of all, why is he always with Darby Allin? I know they had a little common enemy with Team Taz. Well, actually, Sting just kind of showed up into all that. You know what I mean? Why are they hanging out? Because they both are weird and hang out in dark places with face paint on? It doesn't make any sense. You see me wearing tie-dye singlets and kick pads and smoking weed and hanging out with RVD? No. What are you doing?
Happy belated 420, by the way. So, but anyway.
Thank you. No, I don't understand. I don't think we ever got a true explanation for what he's doing here.
I guess when he made his first appearance back in December, remember he just stared in Darby Allin's face?
Yeah, okay, he stared at him. Why are you there to help him?
He's like the son I never had.
I guess. It just doesn't make any sense to the match. I mean, it was cool. Nice to see Jungle Boy, another Bay Area native, tearing it up on the main stage. Darby Allin keeps winning with roll-ups. No definitive wins.
It's interesting. Jungle Boy, I thought, looked really good here. So he's going to be the star for AEW long term. I'm happy both of these guys got the main event Dynamite together. Listen, they're two smaller guys. It's nice that AEW doesn't always let the big guys main event the show. They'll mix it up and have other guys on the roster, have a moment to shine. I thought that was cool. But for me, I'm just so tired of title matches that are so overbooked. I just want a basic one-on-one match with a clean victory, no outside interference, no one getting involved. I just want that. Please, can I have that AEW? I just want that. I'm getting frustrated. This match here, we saw Sting, we saw Luchasaurus, kind of help Jungle Boy back into the ring, and then he went around the other side and got on the ramp. Sting went over, met up with him, and told him hey, don't get involved. And Luchasaurus and him, were talking to each other, and all of a sudden, Sting tries laying a punch or a clothesline on Luchasaurus, but it looked so bad. It looked like he had no power behind it, and then poor Luchasaurus grabs him, and they start pushing back and forth, and they go into the back. But that's what I'm saying.
Hockey fighting, dude.
Yeah, but still, they had to get involved, and it became a distraction. You know what I mean? So they cut to them instead of Jungle Boy and Allin in the ring. So we see the two of them go down the ramp, the hallway to leave the facility. And so I'm like, oh, what? And then, as you said, Darby Allin picks up the win, but then we see Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page come in and beat the crap out of both of them. And then we see Lance Archer come out there and get involved as well. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky a tag team? Like, I know they had that promo a couple weeks ago, but like, Ethan Page just left one tag team from Impact Wrestling. He was supposed to be this free agent signing for AEW. Now he's instead of being a single star, he's already in a new tag team, makeshift tag team.
Yeah, I forgot he was on the roster. Jesus. So look, man, Scorpio Sky said he was tired of being undervalued and not really utilized, grabbing the brass ring, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Ethan Page said the same thing, but here's the thing, man. You just got there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking? Well, what are you talking about?
Anyway, I'm just frustrated. And like Lance Archer, like he's coming out there taking out those two guys. So is he a babyface again? But he's been heel lately.
No, he's always been babyface. He's coming out of the face entrance. He's always been babyface.
But he's talking down to Sting last few weeks before that.
Babyface can talk down to people. Austin did it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting kind of, like I said, so I'm just getting a little frustrated with a lot of these little things that AEW likes to throw into their matches and comes very overbooked, over the top, very convoluted, and just becomes a lot of stuff to keep track of. Keep it simple, please, for us watching at home. That's all I'm asking.
KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
I know.
Stupid.
Thank you. So just a couple shout out. We saw Penta El Zero Miedo defeat Trent. We also saw QT Marshall defeat Billy Gunn. I really like,
honestly, instead of this Lance Archer stuff, we should have just been talking about the factory. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Dude, I don't care about QT Marshall.
Whoa.
He's ridiculous. I don't care.
He is a ring general. How dare you? Anybody that just wears elbow pads and no wrist tape is a ring general. Batista, The Rock. That's all you need to know. Hall of Fame worthy talent only wrestles in elbow pads. The Rock, Batista, QT Marshall. Don't ever say that.
I will.
Like that again.
Well, speaking of The Rock, I like Anthony Ogogo's look. He kind of looks like The Rock a little bit with his haircut and stuff and his big size. I kind of like his look, what he has going right now. Badass British guy.
I feel like I look like The Rock with my haircut and my big size.
You do, man. I smell what you're cooking. And then was Komoroto. Is that how you pronounce his name? The big hairy dude.
Nick Camarado.
I like how he took the chair shot, the wooden chair shot, and no-sold it.
Yeah, that was
no-sold it. I love that. So I like those two guys, like maybe the new future monsters for AEW. That's cool.
Go-Go, he could be something.
He's good on the mic, too.
I think all British people are good on the mic.
It's that elegant speech that they develop.
Okay.
Hello, Philip. Top of the morning.
Somebody's listening in Britain and they got pissed off. That's
we have a big following.
It's like saying A to a Canadian. Like I hear they hate that.
No, I checked the stats on Anchor. We're big in England. Shout out to England.
Are you serious? Oh, hey man, look, all my English friends, I love you guys. I want to come over for tea and crumpets.
You know what's funny? I think one time I checked a couple months ago, on Anchor, you can check where you're big at. Like, we have a lot of listeners, I think, in New Jersey, if I remember correctly. Like, we have people on the East Coast over there.
Well, yeah, that's because, I've been plugging it with GS Dub, man.
That's right. So shout out to them. So we love the East Coast. We need to make a trip out there again one of these days. I need to go out there. It's been a couple years. WrestleMania, so I miss it. So we'll get out there one of these days again. I'll follow along with you if you ever go to GSW. We'll plan it.
Hey man, I'm supposed to be going next month. You done?
That's right. We're both vaccinated. We're good now.
Absolutely, brother.
Right on.
Financially, I'm not good, but anyway, that's a whole other topic.
That's why you need to buy the In The Kliq merch. Every T-shirt you buy will help Philip out. That's how we'll make it work.
Help me, you pansies.
We should make a Philip shirt. We'll sell that, and then you get the profits of it, like it's your face or something.
I'll hit up Mr. X, the graphic designer for the BC. He'll draw it up.
I was thinking, in the real talk, like I want to do like a group photo of all of us, and then like maybe put that on a T-shirt, or maybe like silhouettes of us on a t-shirt.
Or we should do like a cheap remake of like a Horseman shirt or something, bro.
Something like that. We're the pinnacle of pro wrestling podcasting right here.
Yeah, you hear it. You
hear it here first.
Yes, there's only one diamond in this business, and it's us, baby.
Exactly. On that note, let's go ahead and start wrapping things up. Philip, where can the Kliqsters find you online?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me all over the place on the Twitter and the Instagram, at Heel Antwine, HeelAntwine on Twitter and Instagram, like I just said. The Bulletcast on Instagram and YouTube, at Bulletcast on Twitter, Bulletcast on Facebook. I just did an interview with the world's freshest tag team, the brand new Agua World Tag Team Champions. Shout out to my boys, DJ Fresh, Alpha Zo. I'm incredibly proud of you dudes. Check it out, man. Juicy Finale makes a run in. You get some from Midas, 24 karat.
D-Rogue.
And D-Rogue. Squiggity squack, squack, squad, or whatever he said, dude.
I know, right?
But yeah, man, shout out to my boy Juan, who went to the Agua show with me. He had a lot of fun. He was the cameraman. Go check out his stuff, TNC at the Movies. And also Global Syndicate Wrestling. Next pay-per-views next month. Please follow those guys. High Voltage, some more of that's going to be uploaded on their YouTube channel. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined. Diamonds are forever. So is the Microphone Messiah.
I'm Baby Huey. Follow me on Facebook at Baby Huey Official, Twitter and Instagram at Baby Huey83. Like I said, top of the show, please subscribe to us. Leave a comment, a rating, pass it forward to someone else. If you know someone who likes pro wrestling, tell them to listen to our podcast. Pay it forward. We appreciate that. It helps with the whole algorithm of the podcasting world that is. And subscribe to us on YouTube. We're catching up of all of our previous episodes up there. So if you want to listen on YouTube, you're more than welcome to. Follow us Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at In The Kliq, InTheKliq@gmail.com. Click the link in our bio, get the merch as well. And as always, thank you for the support. We truly do appreciate it. And on that note, let's go home. And that's the bottom line, because Huey said so.